When it comes to having the right attorney in your corner, you want to have a proven winner on your side, and Russell Dutch Boyd of VegasCounsel.com knows how to win in Las Vegas. Boyd graduated at 18 years old from law school and is also a 3-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. And no matter what legal challenges you're facing, Boyd will help you through it all. As a litigation attorney, he covers multiple areas of law, including personal injury, business law and startup, cyber law, and crypto clients, and whatever else you might need to navigate the legal waters of Las Vegas and beyond. Just visit VegasCounsel.com to set up your free initial consultation today. That's VegasCounsel.com and let Dutch Boyd help you win today. Once again, that's Russell Boyd at VegasCounsel.com.
1015 FM, 720 AM. KDWN, the talk of Las Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. 1 full hour of wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's bring on the tag team of Andrew Fish Fain, Joe DeFalco, and your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody. Good morning, Las Vegas. I hope everybody's knees are good. Everybody had a great flight coming back from Saudi Arabia.
We are the crown jewel of wrestling shows.
That is the honest-to-God truth. Oh, man.
I want Vandagriff.
Will you stop? Give it up.
Never.
You do not want a piece of the aerial chemist.
After watching Logan Paul yesterday, I got him.
You don't. You're going to have a hernia. That's what you're going to have.
I want him in hell in a cell.
Oh, man, you done. You done. You know, this is what I have to put up with, everybody, on the Mark Hoke Show. It's unbelievable. But welcome to the show. I am your harmless, lovable little fuzzball.
Oh, good Lord.
Mark Hoke.
This is what I got to put up with on the show, everybody.
Thank you for being with us. #1 pro wrestling show here in Las Vegas and in the multiverse, as we have declared. No one has countered that.
Except Saskatchewan.
We do rule Saskatchewan. They're listening, I know. But thank you for being with us. I am Mark Hoke. Andrew Fish Fain sitting across from me.
Oh, yeah.
He's peppy today.
Yes, he is.
What'd you do?
I have no idea.
I was going to.
I watched Crown Jewel yesterday morning, and it's got me all ready for whatever's next.
Yeah, it's good.
Vandagriff.
I'm happy. Stop. And we do have Joe DeFalco on the line. Yes, we do. Okay, I hadn't gotten confirmation. We're all good. And, of course, from Future Stars of Wrestling, big card coming up on the 20th at the Silver Nugget.
The man who's going to make my match with Vandagriff happen.
Not happening. Never will. Die, fish, die. Joe DeFalco, everybody. How are you?
Well, I thought it'd be better with the extra hour of sleep. Still tired.
Good morning, Joe.
Oh, hey. That's why you're peppy. You're peppy. Your extra hour, helps you out.
And I actually work till like 1 a.m, so go figure.
I actually went to sleep like a little early. I'm like, I'm going to get an extra hour. The phone still had to wake me up.
It's okay, Joe. I got woken up too. So it was a long night that got longer. So I'm trying to just bring the peppiness level up. You know, we're going to have a special guest. He's in studio right now, Dominic Tedesco from Unique Eats. I needed some coffee, man. I needed an espresso. That would have been helpful.
Yeah, I should have hooked you up, man. I should have brought some food in here.
It's all good. We're okay.
I'm just a little disappointed because after the next day, I'm not going to see any more exciting political ads. So that's a little disappointing.
Yeah, I'm a little crushed about that too myself.
We are 2 days away from that.
Thank goodness.
Fiasco ending. Oh, it has been something.
It's been a long political season.
It has been a very long political season. But by the way, in case you didn't know, on Tuesday night, KDWN is going to be doing special election coverage from 6 to midnight. All sorts of people in here. I'm producing the show. Won't be on it, but I'll probably be popping some results in.
You're not going to opine?
No, but I will. I'm sure I'll be on giving results and things like that. We're going to try and keep everybody updated on everything going on. So just
see which loser won, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, see whether medicinal marijuana passes in the Dakotas.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, it is.
Oh well, whatever. It's all good. I haven't been to Fargo for a while. So. Yeah, but boys, we had a lot going on in the world of professional wrestling this week, and we had a WWE Premium Live event. Yeah, going off WWE Crown Jewel, their massive money grab that they do.
What do they get, like $50 million for doing that?
I don't know. It's a boatload of money.
The one thing that may impress me the most is when they had all the drones flying together.
That was, I wanted to mention that kind of at the end, but since you did bring it up, yesterday they did one of the coolest things and this is another WWE production item that is going to carry over to the mainstream. Now, of course, when Vince did the XFL, the Skycam, Vince created that.
Oh, I know.
They've done so many things that have been copied.
I'm not going to say Vince created it.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, he used to have it in the women's locker room, so.
Stop it. Oh. But last night, the stadium in Riyadh is an open-air stadium that they had, and they had 2,000 drones above the stadium lit up that were doing different images of everybody. They had like portraits of Roman Reigns and Logan Paul.
I think the first thing they did was Drew McIntyre's sword.
Yeah.
I saw like the big. I didn't know. I saw Kross post something that looked like the hourglass.
Yeah, that was.
I had no idea what that meant. So, okay, that's cool.
That was actually the first thing. That was the first thing that came up was the hourglass.
I thought it was the sword, but okay.
Because I saw they put the hourglass in and then it's like an hourglass and dots. I'm like, what the heck is that? And then when McIntyre came out, they had the sword and they explained that they had 2,000 drones they were arranging.
Which is absolutely amazing. It looked, and you're right, that is so typical WWE production, and that's one of the biggest differences between WWE and AEW is that AEW puts more time and effort into maybe the matches and the storytelling, while WWE puts it into the spectacle itself.
Well, you got to have a budget.
That's true.
It had nothing to do with the money. See, you say about the money grab. It cost them $40 million for those drones. They didn't even make anything on the show. They just one of our guys actually who started with us with production actually works in production at WWE. He posted his picture yesterday. My son seen him at one of the shows in Vegas. This kid Darian, who did like really good graphics, but he was kind of weird because he said at like 15 he was working for WWE, and it turned out he really didn't. But it's like now he actually does work for WWE in the production department.
Update that resume.
Absolutely.
Very nice. But yeah, that was one thing that was so cool about the show last night was, and I was actually thinking about that, was the production levels just that WWE has is incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And,
through the roof anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff that goes over the top, but overall, I mean, there's just nothing like a WWE show when it comes to television
spectacles, especially when it's a big show, when it's WrestleMania, obviously, or Crown Jewel, or one of the other like Survivor Series. I'm sure will be big in a way too.
Yeah. Don't bring back that weird stuff they did with Bray Wyatt though, with the cameras. I remember that was really weird.
Yeah, that was. Leave that alone. If Kevin Dunn would just stop making us have epilepsy, that would be great.
Yeah, they still do that on the moves. That's terrible.
I think it was Bailey. Bailey was the big victim this time. She was punching
Bianca,
and
since she was losing again, so
we'll get into that. But yeah, so Fish, there you go. You got us on a production tangent. Very nice job.
Thank you.
Very nice job. But WWE Crown Jewel was actually for us yesterday morning, and of course the main event of that, which we were tearing apart because that's what we do sometimes, was Roman Reigns against internet sensation, social media influencer, third match of his career, Logan Paul.
And the greatest line about all of it was Roman Reigns saying, all he did was bring 30 million more people to acknowledge me.
That was funny. And boys, I have to say, that when you get into it and you actually think that somebody else, like an underdog like that, can win a match, and there's a moment where you feel that, you've done a good job. And these guys did that last night.
I am no Logan Paul fan, but I am
now.
I have to give him all props. He put on, for a guy who's only in his third match, an amazing match against a guy who is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time in Roman Reigns.
Joe, you train wrestlers at FSW. Have you ever seen somebody do something like that in their third match ever? And when you consider the circumstance, a main event of a World Wrestling Entertainment event, that is unbelievable.
That's somebody who's excited about being there, not mailing it in like a Lawrence Taylor. He was just there for a payday. But we saw it with Bad Bunny. You know, they went out there and they really put in the time and effort. They loved wrestling. They wanted to go out there and have a good time. Well, Logan Paul's already wrestled, as you said. Well, it's only his third match. Well, it wasn't like his first two matches were clunkers. The first two matches, everybody was like, wow, this Logan Paul is really good. And now all of a sudden he takes another 6 months training with Shawn Michaels and all these other people. Why wouldn't he, when he's wrestling probably the best guy in the world, in Roman Reigns, of course they should have a great match. The interference, I guess I understand why it was done, but it wasn't even necessary. It was like Solo Sikoa didn't really do anything, and Jake Paul, I saw a post which made me laugh because it was like, if anybody thought the Jake Paul matches were fixed, take a look at his work punches, because that was the first thing I said when I saw him. Like, oh, that looks terrible when he was trying to punch one of the Usos. But I posted it later on Facebook. I didn't know that he had gotten hurt, but it was like that. I think the Pauls are going to be the ones to beat the Usos for the tag titles.
But you're laughing, Fish. But after what Logan did and the popularity of the Pauls, that may be a consideration down the road.
I don't think that they allow the Usos to break the New Day's record. I think the New Day beats them next week.
Wow. Okay. Well,
it's horrible if they do, because the New Day have done absolutely nothing. The only reason they would put the belts on them is just for that reason. And I could see if you didn't want somebody to do something, but I can't believe, why wouldn't you want the Usos to be the ones who own the record? They're in the hottest storyline. The New Day is pretty much, they're dead.
I agree, and if that's the case, they shouldn't be in the match regardless of the reasoning. But because they're doing it, I think the New Day stops them.
I think it's the perfect that they should be in it. That's the only reason that it makes the New Day relevant in this situation is, hey, we're going to wrestle you guys to stop you from breaking our record. That's a great story right there.
Yeah, God forbid that WWE came up with a good story.
I think Big E comes back and he doesn't wrestle, but I think he's back for that match.
Maybe he was in a commercial.
He could barely,
Apparently he's functioning normally, which is good, coming off the broken neck. But just to wrap up on Logan Paul real quick, there is a report that Logan Paul had went up on his Instagram and said that he tore his knee up pretty badly in the middle of this match. I guess on the spot where he jumped off the ropes over to the announce table with his phone in his hand.
He was doing the Instagram shot of him jumping.
Which is pretty cool. I got to give him props on that. I thought it was a little cheesy, but I knew the video was going to be pretty neat.
I didn't see the video. Is the video good?
The video's good. But apparently he has torn his meniscus, his MCL, and possibly his ACL. So not only did he wrestle a very good match, but halfway through, he tore his knee apart.
And he was still able to, like I said, do the leap onto the Usos and do the 5-star frog splash.
And by the way, he also did.
McMahon couldn't do that when he tore his.
Yeah, and apparently, by the way, also did a very good buckshot lariat.
Yes, he did.
Hint to Mr. Brooks, but we won't be too mean on that. So a pretty good main event.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty good main event.
All things considered, considering the way it could have gone the way of David Arquette, and thank God it didn't. It could have been just Roman Reigns dominating and it's over, and it didn't. And you were right. There were times when I thought, oh my God, they're really going to give Logan Paul the belt.
Yeah, it was.
I thought at the one point that he would, but I was like, deep down in my head, I'm like, there's no way. But it was like, they did it at that split second when he kicked out after Jake Paul interfered. But it was a really good match. I'm glad I rewatched it because I ended up leaving, and I left her in the Bianca Bailey match. And then when I came home, I'm like, yeah, let me at least watch the main event, because when I woke up, it was like 3 matches in, so I actually had missed Kross losing, and my kid's like, oh, they made him look strong, and it's like, great, they did the same thing with Drew McIntyre, so the feud has actually gone absolutely nowhere.
Yeah,
but I mean, McIntyre had lost 4 PLEs in a row, so he kind of had to have this win.
Yeah, they were making a big deal out of that too, and
now where do these guys go?
Right. Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, well,
Who's next?
Let's talk about that match, and of course, this is the Mark Hoke Show on KDWN 101.5 FM, 720 AM, the talk of Las Vegas. Pro wrestling at its finest, usually, except when Fish talks. But, that's another part of the...
You want wrestling at its finest? Come watch me versus Vandagriff, Hell in a Cell.
God. So back to WWE Crown Jewel. We did have a steel cage match with Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. And, oh, Fish, you did the grunt.
Yeah.
You did
and it's because it was... They did the same thing from the last pay-per-view with Scarlett and the Mace. It was just, you got to come up with something new.
Yeah,
match.
I just didn't like.
It didn't have.
I thought it was kind of, Scarlett blocking the door was kind of a neat little twist.
Yeah, but that's been done millions of times. It didn't have the brutality I thought it should have or could have had.
Yeah, it was just a little off, and I feel bad for both guys.
Neither guy did a bad job. The match itself it was missing something, and I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I don't know either. It was
missing intrigue.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Joe.
So they started off, they have this big strap match, Kross's, pay-per-view debut to wash away everything that happened in the past. He beats Drew McIntyre, and then 2 months go by, and he wrestles once on SmackDown, and he beats Madcap Moss in another meaningless match. And now they go to a steel cage, and it's like, okay, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to totally protect Kross because he has to lose. Well, now they've had 2 matches, and the second one's a steel cage match, and now they're 1-1. So to me, that means the feud isn't over. What are they going to do for the third match?
Last man standing.
Well, they'll probably do a crazy match. It'll be just whoever wins, wins. And it's like, well, there's no intrigue in that. There's like, where do they go? Does McIntyre get put back in with the reins? Probably not. Does Kross get put in with Reigns? Well, he just lost. Probably not. So it's just like, what's going on? It's just like, they're going to wrestle again. They're going to not wrestle again. They're both like in the middle of nowhere. They're in the phantom zone right now.
And I think that's a great way to put it, because the one thing that had concerned me that when they brought Kross back and then threw him right into the main event scene, you either have him win and then go on to take on Roman Reigns, or, you're burying him again.
Right. And
so it was just...
But the whole idea of this new Triple H regime was supposed to be long-term booking, and it doesn't look like they have any long-term booking with this, because now that you have Bray Wyatt there, too, he's got to get... He can't be in a mid-card picture. Wyatt has to be thrown into that picture, too. So how do you do that?
Braun Strowman, and you can't do that with him either.
There's a lot of guys in that main event picture right now. A lot.
And it's funny because just 6 months ago we were talking about there wasn't anybody.
Right.
Right, and now there still isn't, because now Drew and Kross have been put in a position that neither one of them is going to be going after Reigns. So what was the point of bringing in Kross with the TikTok on Roman Reigns in the hourglass when he can't even get by the second guy?
Maybe a triple threat. Maybe that's the way to go from here. Maybe that's what they were planning.
But then again, Reigns is going to still win, it looks like, the way they're building it. And then, what about when Cody Rhodes comes back?
Yeah.
They need to split the belt.
Agreed. Said that a while ago.
We've been saying it on this. We've been beating that drum for a while.
We need to.
So it'll be Roman Reigns, and then whoever gets to be the champ is basically considered the B-level champ.
Yeah, something like that, but oh well.
Is Seth Rollins a face now, by the way?
I don't know. I lost track.
Yeah, he smiled in the promo. Didn't you see it? That was his turn.
Yeah, he's happy.
Well, I mean, the fans are singing his praises and dancing along with him.
That's all right. Cody Rhodes will come back and beat him again. It'll be fun.
This is a mess. By the way, we're going to talk more to Dominic about Unique Eats in a little bit, but Dominic, what?
I said, please.
Yeah, we will. But Dom, how much do you follow wrestling? I kind of remember you said you watched a little bit a while ago.
Well, you know, I grew up. My grandfather loved wrestling back in the 70s. You know, you had Haystacks Calhoun, Ric Flair, and all those guys, and it was a blast. It's just memories that I remember going and just being ringside, and my grandfather was a cigar, you know, smoking, and it was just waiting for somebody to fly over and knock us out, you know. It was a lot of fun. I really did. And then, you know, growing up in the 80s, and, you know, Hulk Hogan was big back then, and, you know, I think he started in the 70s, though, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So
late 70s, yeah.
So I followed it way back then, and then lost track of it a little bit just with career and everything, and not having time to do anything but work. But yeah, I have picked it up, and it's fun to watch. All the wrestlers, even, you know, the female wrestlers, are just, all of them are just incredibly talented athletes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing what they do. You know,
it has come a long way since the 70s.
Oh,
for sure.
Unbelievable! It's like I watched on TV, you know, a couple of things, and I was like, "Oh my God, how do they do that?" Mm-hmm. You know, it's amazing. It just really is.
The athleticism between the 80s and now is probably the biggest thing in wrestling that has changed.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of it is, you know, the training and stuff they do, and just, you know, any athletes across the board, they're more, I think, mechanically built now than before. Just with the advanced training equipment and all that stuff is just, it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, that's
the biggest difference in wrestling from the 70s to now is that the women that wrestle are actually attractive now.
Yeah, what was the
Fabulous Moolah?
Yeah, the Fabulous Moolah. Yeah, I was just trying to remember.
Yeah, Mildred Burke and some of those women were pretty good looking.
You know,
Mae Young was a looker when she was young.
Yeah, but then her kid needed a hand.
Oh,
wouldn't be a lot. There wasn't a lot of women calendar wrestlers back in 1977.
No, maybe at Halloween.
It was the woman of wrestling. Oh. It was just one.
This is going to be an interesting show, guys. Oh my word. Yeah, well, hey, by the way, before we head into break here, we're going to be back with Dominic and talk some what's going on over at the restaurant. He's got some great new things happening over there. So if you're driving around, just head on over right down South Durango. Get some breakfast, get some booze, all sorts of great stuff.
Mimosas today. Come on and have some.
It's going to be a great time. So, you know, we'd have to swing down to Unique Eats. And also, don't forget, if you need to make some money so you can eat at Unique Eats every day.
Oh, good Lord. You need to work on your segues.
My segue was great. Trading, if you'd stop interrupting, it would help. Get into that automated day trading with Trading Made Easy. All you have to do is go to tradingmadeasy.com. It's that simple. They only need one E in there, and you can learn about the world of automated day trading software. And, man, all you got to do is turn that thing on and make money. It's that simple. Real cool. So if you want to check out a free live trading session, no obligation, you can just set up a time to go there at tradingmadeasy.com or call 1-800-971-4160. That's 800-971-4160. And get into the world of automated day trading software and make yourself some extra coin, especially right now. Economy's rough. Do it. Now, tradingmadeeasy.com.
You want to make more money? Bet on me versus Vandagriff in the Hell in a Cell match.
Give it up! Oh, my God. We are going to be back with more here on the Mark Hoke Show in just a little bit. Andrew Fish, Fain, Joe DeFalco from Future Stars of Wrestling. We got Dominic Tedesco in here from Unique Eats and yours truly. And by the way, don't forget to check out those podcasts, markhokeshow.podbean.com. 54 countries have downloaded those podcasts. It is amazing. So check it out on all your favorite podcast outlets, YouTube, wherever you want. We will see you guys on the other side of the break for more hijinks and shenanigans on the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around.
Tomfoolery.
Hi, this is Mark Hoke. Has out-of-control inflation, gas prices, and grocery costs wrecked your wallet? Then check into automated day trading with Trading Made Easy. Trading Made Easy has spent 5 years helping people put cash in their pockets with their simple-to-use day trading software. So if you're ready to leave that 9-to-5 job behind, visit TradingMadEasy.com or call 800-971-4160 to sign up for a free live training seminar right now. That's TradingMadEasy.com. Tired of the same boring food when you're out for breakfast or lunch? I'm Mark Hoke, and I have an idea for a different place to go with unique food you're sure to enjoy, and that's Unique Eats. Take some time out of your busy day and stop on in to Unique Eats, featuring celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco and his friendly staff. Whether it's a great start to your day with one of Unique Eats' amazing omelets, or lunch with his incredible sandwiches, pasta, and award-winning pizzas, you'll be in for a fantastic dining experience that won't break the bank. Unique Eats also features a smoothie bar and full vegetarian menu as well. Plus, if you need catering, you can count on Unique Eats no matter what the occasion. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to Unique Eats at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100, open daily until 3 p.m. Call them at 702-992-3038 or visit UniqueEatsLV.com for their full menu and catering info. Break out of the same old routine and have a great meal at Unique Eats today.
1015 FM, 720 AM. KDWN, the talk of Las Vegas.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Fish, that extra hour.
I'm just warming up for Vandagriff.
Okay, Joe, make the match. Joe, can we make the match, please? Joe DeFalco, Future Stars of Wrestling.
Maybe we'll have Vandagriff on next week, and maybe he can let you know if he's interested.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was talking to Matt.
By the way, next week I may have the conflict, so I may not be able to be here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll be here.
There's guys in FSW that you could survive. You would just take one big hit,
Hammerstone,
and you're finished. That is not the Vandagriff style. The Vandagriff style is he's going to flip you, throw you, and just twist you into a pretzel and make you fall very, very hard from very high places. And you're going to regret this trash talk.
And then when I lock in the fish hook, my submission move.
The fish hook? What the hell is the fish hook?
See, you don't know I have finishing moves. My submission hold.
Did you wrestle in high school?
Depends on what you consider wrestling in high school.
Did you wrestle on a team in high school? For your high school team, were you in the room?
No.
Of course not. You're dead.
No, it's over.
He learned how to play on WWE 2K, so he's fine.
I ain't worried about it at all.
Oh, my God. The fish
hook.
Is that where Vandagriff is going to take his finger and put it in the side of your mouth and just hold like this until you cry already? That's going to be the fish.
Don't you worry. I will shock the world, baby. Shock the world.
I think I drooled on my finger.
It's me and Buster Douglas.
That's unsanitary. That would not happen at Unique Eats in the kitchen, that's for sure. Dominic Tedesco in here from Unique Eats, by the way. And we want to talk a little bit about the restaurant. This is Dominic, of course, a great sponsor of the show. And I've gotten to know Dominic for over the past, it's been a couple of years since I started coming in there.
It's been right when we opened.
Yeah, I mean, the food's amazing, guys. And I can tell you that this man is an award-winning chef. He has cooked for celebrities. He has been on TV. He has done so much. And if you haven't been over to Unique Eats, you're really missing out. But Dominic, tell everybody a little bit about the style of food you cook and what you're doing over there right now.
Well, it's the food. I started cooking when I was 7 years old. My parents had restaurants, and I cooked alongside of them, and I was there every day. And I don't know if it's because I love food so much, is that I was the youngest of 8 boys, so I wanted to make sure I got something to eat. So I was always there, and I knew I'd be sampling food when I was cooking. But nonetheless, my parents, when they cooked and when they had people in their restaurant, it was more about the experience and having them there and people feeling so good when they dined there and when they left. When they come in a bad mood, they left in a better mood and their day was better. So I've always in my career I've opened 46 restaurants, and I've always wanted my guests to feel special when they're there. To have incredible food, just food that you dream about and you think about, like, oh my gosh. The next day you're still tasting it and you're thinking, oh, I want some more of that pasta. I want some more of something. But also I want them to feel good, like they were special, when they came to the restaurant. So I push my staff to really, really make people feel warm and welcome. And it's not fake. It's real. They truly do love entertaining people and making them feel good. So families coming in, and leave your phones to the side, enjoy who you're with, So I cook food from all over the world. It really is kind of my specialty, because at my table, at my house, I like food from everywhere. Mm-hmm. As you could see, I've not missed many meals. So
join the club.
I like a good diverse menu and very high quality ingredients, and there's a difference between cost and value, and some people want to come for a $2 meal, and my meal is not based really on that. It's based on really good, delicious, mouth-watering, oh my God, I got to have another bite even though I'm ready to explode. I'm so full.
I can tell you a couple things about having eaten at the restaurant. Whenever I get a sponsor on the show, I don't want somebody that I'm not going to believe in. I mean, I can't sell it, Fish, you and I have gone over to Unique Eats. Number one
of the best meals I've had in Vegas, period.
The service is amazing. The twins, and what are their names, by the way?
Aaron and Ashley.
Okay. These two are two of the best servers I've ever had in my life. And I kid you not. You're up there too, buddy.
Thank you.
I said some of, but I get an iced tea whenever I come in, and I swear to God, my glass does not get down below a quarter empty. No. They're always there, and that's the honest to God truth. And one day I came in for breakfast, and I just didn't want anything big, and I just ordered a couple of pancakes. And here comes this massive platter of 2 pancakes that were bigger than my head.
Manhole covers.
Yeah, seriously, and they were some of the best pancakes I've ever had, and just a simple dish like that. And then you go up the menu. The pastas, the pizza, the omelets. It's a fantastic place to eat. It really is.
Thank you.
You should be proud of it.
We make everything there. I make everything there. I go in every morning at 2:00. I make all the sausages, the sauce. We make everything from scratch there. So
it was a scratch kitchen, which is even more amazing because it is absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all about I love so much seeing the smile on your face when I go out there and you're so happy with what you're eating. Maybe it brings you back a childhood memory of your grandmother's food or something. That's why I do it, because I want to touch people. I want to make people happy and enjoy life. There's enough crazy stuff going on, and you go out and you pay good money for food nowadays, like everything else. It's very expensive. And I want you all to get your money's worth, and I want you to enjoy it when you walk away, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm not going to open 10 or 15 of these things. I want to have one place so I can be there every day and control it and just do what I love.
Very much of the mindset, live to eat rather than eat to live.
Yes, agreed. And there's so much fantastic things that happen over there, too. You guys have a jazz day over there?
Today, baby. Live jazz, 11 to 2 on Sundays. It's pretty awesome. Got some incredibly talented musicians that play. And now, like I said, we're pouring mimosas today. We just got our license, so
that is awesome.
Amen to that.
Congratulations.
So,
that is a huge accomplishment.
Yes, it is. So not only can you have a great meal, not only do you have amazing catering from this guy who's catered tons of events in Las Vegas, you can get hammered too. Yeah. Woo!
Woo! Just make sure you call the Uber afterwards.
There you go.
Yes.
We might even put a rink out back and have a little wrestling throwdowns.
We should.
That would be fun.
Joe DeFalco could make that happen.
Oh, absolutely. As long, hey,
that's where we'll have the Vandagriff.
That's where we'll have it. There we go, man.
I smell a promotion going on.
I'm all ready to go.
Right in the parking lot where everybody on Durango can see you die.
And after we watch him tap out to the fish hook, we could all go grab some food.
The fish hook is not.
There you go.
It doesn't.
You
exist.
never know. I might tag team coming there with a big rolling pin or something, or pizza paddle.
There you go. That would be amazing. I'd love to see you get hit with a rolling pin.
He'd be my manager.
Would you? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
You want to back the winner, don't you?
So bad.
No comment.
Joe, we're gonna make that happen. We can set the ring up outside Unique Eats.
We can do it.
There you go. Well, guys, and once again, I just can't tell you enough. There are so many amazing places to eat here in Las Vegas, but this is one that is kind of a place you can really call home. And I love going over there.
It's awesome.
I've gone over there in really bad moods and walked out feeling much better. Just because the food's that great and the service is awesome.
I've worked in the restaurant industry for 12 years, especially last 7 consecutive, and even as a server, I can see the service that you guys give there. As you said, it's genuine and fantastic, and there is not one bad thing about that restaurant. It is absolutely incredible, and if you have not been there, you have to take yourself down to Unique Eats.
Yep. It's at
3100
South Durango, Suite 100. The website is uniqueeatslv.com. And, if you want catering or just want to check things out, give them a call at 702-992-3038. Once again, it's at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100, right here in Las Vegas, down the street from the station. We will not let you in, but we will send you down there for food. Fair enough?
Bring back to us.
Well, you can do that, too. Then we might have to open the door. We'll let Dominic deliver.
There you go. I'll bring it in.
All right. Well, Dominic, I'm glad we got time to talk about Unique Eats, and you can hang around for a little bit if you want, whatever you want to do. I've got the chef's shirt on, but...
Yeah, I got to get back there, get cooking.
Well, there you go. But once again, it's Unique Eats here in Las Vegas.
Sunday brunch, yum.
Oh, there you go. Dominic,
thanks. Great being on the show, and, love the sport, love everything about it, so... Best wishes to everybody.
Yeah, stop in again. We'll talk a little more wrestling.
All right, sounds great.
All right,
appreciate it, Dominic. Thank you.
There you go. Dominic Tedesco from Unique Eats. I hope you're all hungry. They're open until 3:00. Go now. Now.
Go.
Once the show's over.
Yeah. Well, you can listen to it in the car.
Well, you can listen to it on your phone if you want, because the KDWN app's right there.
Exactly.
Just go to the website, listen live, and you can eat and listen to the Mark Hoke Show.
And enjoy what I have to say and tune out what Mark says.
No, and hopefully, fish won't make you puke. Anyway. Oh, my God. All right, so let's get back to a little bit about what went on at
Crown Jewel.
At Crown Jewel.
Can we start with the opening match now? Get on to the opening match?
I guess we could, because honestly, to me, that was the biggest disappointment of the day. That was the one I was looking forward to. Bobby Lashley took on Brock Lesnar, the two MMA champions, and just two beefy men.
Well, I guess they couldn't make Lashley look bad in defeat, but you can't make Lesnar look bad at all.
It was forced. The way they did that, because at the end, Lashley was pretty much beating Lesnar up pretty hard.
The entire time.
But Lesnar was in the Hurt Lock, which is a full Nelson, kicked up in the corner, and then landed on top of Lashley with him still holding the full Nelson in, and he got counted out. So
not counted out, he got counted pinned. But although his shoulders were up, so
yeah, it was. Yeah, I just didn't like it, to be honest with you. I wanted those two guys to take 20 minutes and beat the living hell out of each other.
But you knew it was going to be that kind of match from the beginning when you saw Lashley push Lesnar and Lesnar hurt his knee immediately.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. Joe, what did you think of that match?
Well, actually, that's one that I didn't see, but if you wanted to see 20 minutes of Lesnar and Lashley, what you need to do is put the 5 matches they've had together and put it on one reel, and you might get to 20 minutes. But it was the story of the show of, we're going to have this guy win, but we have to make sure the other guy dominated the match. It was no different than the Kross match, no different than the Strowman match. And it was the same story. So when you tell the same story 3 or 4 times over the card, you just kind of roll your eyes. And, you know, I guess if they wanted to make a great job of why the main event was so good, it's because everybody is crapping on how they worked 4 or 5 of those other matches. And then that's the truth of it, because, you know, it is in Saudi Arabia, so they're like, well, Lesnar better win. You know, maybe they wanted Lashley to win, but, you know, when you're paying $50 million, you know, you get to book the show the way you want.
The only interesting part about it is, and I don't know if it's interesting or not, but to me was the psychology of Lashley now going back from face. It looks like he's going heel again. And maybe that's just because everyone loves Lesnar, so he was booed more heavily, but he did more heelish antics.
Yeah, well, and it was weird, too, because the crowd was really anti-Lashley.
No, I think they were more pro Lesnar than they were anti Lashley.
Well, but they were booing him, you know, and that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. And I guess I should have seen that coming, but yeah, and that didn't help either.
They did a promo before the match that didn't air, where Lashley was announced from Iran, so that's what happened.
Oh, wow. Topical.
Yikes. Let's go back to the 80s, baby. Off we roll.
Here comes Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah. He was my fave. I had a poster of the Sarge.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah, I love this. I love the Sarge. What was not to love about Sergeant Slaughter? Until the turn.
That.
Yeah, that was bad.
If that guy was leading my army, I don't think my army would actually win.
I don't know. I'd have followed Sergeant Slaughter into combat.
He would have got shot because he would have been puffing for air because he had to run 100 feet.
Yeah.
You know, you guys bust the Sarge, but honest to God, he really I mean, the side story here real quick, he was my first real favorite wrestler. And I remember the first card that I went to at the Hershey Park Arena, he was wrestling in a 6-man match in the main event. And I went down to the floor, and I think it was 12, I want to say, something like that. And I went to ringside when he came out, and he shook my hand, and I was just like, oh my God, did that actually? I shook the Sarge's hand. Wow. And I mean, I was hooked.
He didn't call you a maggot?
No, he didn't call me a maggot. But, you know, it's just, you know, and Don was talking about that a little bit too. You know, it's the memories of.
And that's what makes wrestling special, is not just the athleticism or the storytelling now. It's the memories that it does bring back when you think of wrestling as a whole, of just remembering no matter who you were watching with it as a kid or whatever, it just brings it all back.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell you where I was standing and, you know, the position on the ring and everything else. I could, you know, so don't bust on the Sarge, guys. Come on.
And if you get the opportunity to actually talk to a wrestler about it, I remember when I was probably 11, 12 years old, 1976, 77, it was like Nassau Coliseum, went to a show, and it was Kevin Sullivan and Ernie Ladd.
Oh, wow.
And I always remember it. And Kevin Sullivan was like this pure white bread baby face from Boston, Massachusetts. And he was a jobber guy, and it was funny because it was a house show. So it was like Ernie Ladd, you know, 6'9", he had to steal the pin by putting his feet on the ropes. And when I met Kevin Sullivan and talked about it, boy, like his eyes lit up, and like he knew the whole story. It was like, yeah, and it was almost a riot and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and the wrestlers remember, it gives them the memories of all the way back then. Same thing with my first favorite wrestler was Chavo Guerrero. I would watch the Spanish wrestling with my grandmother in New York. She'd watch it on the UHF, and it was from the Olympic Auditorium. And I only remember like 3 guys, and it was Jimmy Lennon, the ring announcer, Chavo Guerrero, because he was my favorite, and there was a guy named Java Rook, who was Johnny Rods, and I was like 10 years old, and I didn't understand why the guy Johnny Rods, who I used to see wrestle at midnight on WOR, was like this Egyptian guy. I was confused. and it's like, and the funny thing was Java Rook was managed by a guy named Roddy Piper before he became, you know, anything. And it's like, those are my first memories. And my great grandmother, you know, I used to stay with her every once in a while. And I always remember because she barely spoke any English, so I had to like learn the food terms that way. But I always even do it to this day, and it's like I'm watching a match and it'd be like duro, and it just meant harder because she was so enamored with the wrestling. Like I'm pretty sure she felt it was real, you know.
That's so awesome.
That is amazing. I'll tell one fast story, and then we'll get back to Crown Jewel. When I was in college, the WWE came to town and did a show in Fargo. And the gym I was working out at, I go in the locker room, and I will never forget this for the rest of my life. In walks the Warlord.
From Powers of Pain, War
Yes.
and Barbarian?
Yeah, big, bad Warlord. And he was just in a towel, and the dude, I mean, just big. I mean, the biceps. I mean, his biceps are bigger than my head. And I once he had taken a shower and he got dressed, and then I said something to him. I was like, hey, just talking about a little bit of wrestling, and just I was a fan and everything, and he appreciated it. I appreciated I didn't talk to him while he was naked. But
I'm
it
sure
was just,
he did.
But it was just, but it was just crazy standing next to the guy and you see, and if you remember the Warlord, he was massive. And
absolutely.
You're just in awe. It's a person, but they're larger than life. And then when you see somebody standing next to you like that, like, oh my God.
I remember going to an Unforgiven one year and seeing The Undertaker and just being absolutely, even because at the time I was still like, I think early 20s, and the dude's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. And, and you get to see some of that at Future Stars of Wrestling when they go through too.
Mm-hmm. And coincidentally, that was the last time Mark ever was at a gym. So
yeah, there you go. See, that's why I like that story.
I need to get back. That is definitely, no doubt, for sure. Don't ask.
No, run the ropes at FSW. Get you right in shape.
I know it would. I should.
You want to talk about a Vandagriff, you should see pictures of him when he first started. He was like this chubby guy who used to do flippy flops around, and we're like, wow. And I remember he went.
Oh, he'll be flippy flopping again.
Yeah, we had a tryout for Impact, and he was there, and Sanjay Dutt, who has now worked, Impact, WWE, and now he's part of AEW with Jay Lethal. And we were sitting there kind of running the tryout because I think Jeff Jarrett was in the back drinking his whiskey or whatever he was doing. And, his soda from 7-Eleven.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were putting together the seminar, and that was the one thing he mentioned about Vandagriff. Like, man, he moves around really good. And he was young and stuff, but it was like, he needs to really, get in better shape. And obviously, 4 years later, he's in fantastic shape. But Vandagriff was a little chubby back in the day.
So there you go.
Yeah, see?
There's no hope for you, though.
See, no. See, there's a weakness. No one escapes the fish hook.
I can't wait to see what this move is someday. I'm going to hurt you.
Just ask all the fish who have taken it.
Yeah.
That's just it. You can't talk to any of them because none of them can recover.
It sounds like a failed pickup line at a bar. That's what it sounds like, fish. Terrible. Mark Hoke Show on KDWN, 101.5 FM, 7:20 a.m. Talk of Las Vegas. The show has devolved from normal pro wrestling talk to whatever.
I do want to go back to Lashley and Lesnar because does Lesnar have more matches on his contract now? I mean, I know they brought him into Crown Jewel because they need the big names, obviously. What happens to Lesnar now? Is he done for a little bit again? Are we seeing we're not going to wait to Royal Rumble, or is he going to be there for Survivor Series?
I think there's another.
I think he re-upped because that was the whole deal. That it looked like he was done, and then he's not done, and he re-signed supposedly, and I think this is part of the re-sign. So I doubt they would bring him in for just one event. Never know if he's going to use it again, and then put him over. So
he does seem to be enjoying himself now more than I've ever seen him enjoying himself in the ring.
Well, he's like, yeah, wow, I can't believe they're paying me $500,000 to run around for 5 minutes. It's amazing.
But I think he likes to be unleashed as far as being away from Paul Heyman. As much as Paul Heyman did for him, I think he likes the freedom to be able to speak on the mic and just to be himself, to be Brock Lesnar.
Well, and you get later in the career, and it's kind of, obviously he was very, very serious when he was younger and had the issues with WWE before. But now it's kind of like, yeah, this is. I'm going to come in, have a fun match, and go home. So, yeah, he's really enjoying himself. But I think we're definitely not done with the situation.
We'll shoot some deer. He's happy.
Yeah, he's a butcher.
Yeah,
he's good at it. But yeah, we're not done with Lashley and Lesnar. That is for sure.
No, I would agree.
Hopefully, a better performance coming up.
And the women's tag team title match. couple things I want to mention about that real quick.
We got about a minute and a half.
And then I'll wait and talk about it on the other side. Okay. So you go wherever you want to go.
Go where you want to go. Yeah, okay.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you what, since we have a minute and I don't want to get too deep into anything else, because we have some AEW stuff going on, too, that we need to talk about.
There is?
Yeah, there is.
What is AEW?
Yeah, go away. But, Joe, I know you got a card coming up at Silver Nugget on the 20th, so I got about 30 seconds I can give you here.
We got our annual event, Against All Odds. We do a 30-man Rumble. The winner of the Rumble actually wrestles the champion in the main event. That's why it's called Against All Odds. And this year we kind of stacked it up. We got AEW guys. We got Toa Leona coming back. We got Davey Richards going to be on the show, and Chris Masters and Carlito, as well as some of the best guys we've had, some surprises that we're looking forward to. And, it's definitely going to be a huge card. We have about 6 or 7 matches. And it's generally one of the favorite shows of the year just because everybody loves a good Rumble.
All right. So check that out, fswvegas.com.
I'm entering the Rumble.
Get your tickets now. All right. Mark Hoke Show, KDWN 101.5 FM, 720 AM, Talk of Las Vegas. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. We barely got through Crown Jewel with everything we had to do on the first hour. So we're going to talk about that more. And is CM Punk still hanging around? We'll talk about that when we come back. Stick around here on KDWN. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite